Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for clicking on the video. Today, I want to talk about transmutation. How does one transmute internal chi? I've had a request from a subscriber with this particular topic. So thank you for asking those questions, and please do reach out, do ask questions, leave comments. You can message me on Instagram. If any of this is unclear and you need further clarification, I'm contactable, I'm approachable, and I'm reachable. All right, so number one, how does one transmute chi? I would say is internal work, practicing things like meditation, yoga, qigong, breath work exercises. The whole sexual kung fu concept is around training your internal chi, working with your internal energy. So that must be part of your routine as a discipline, right? Just like anything else, right? If you train your physical body, you need to do it on regular basis. If you're training your internal chi, you must do it on regular basis as well. So how I do it, every morning for about half an hour, I dedicate strictly to my internal work. Predominantly it's sexual kung fu practices like qigong. I love doing qigong, working with your energy, and there are lots of great videos on YouTube. If you want to do like a guided qigong session, guided qigong practice, I can leave some links underneath this video as well. One of my favorite go-to qigong practices in the morning from my tutor Jonathan White from Sexual Kung Fu, strongly recommended. So that's one way. Breath work, mandatory to be aware of your breath, right? It starts with that. Be aware of your breath. Breathe into your belly. Make sure you expand into it from all angles. As far as expanding into your pelvic floor muscles, that's quite important as well. So yeah, internal work, mandatory. Spiritually as well, we know that sexual energy is linked to your spiritual energy. So make sure you pray. Make sure you communicate with the Most High. Make sure you have that awareness. Make sure you communicate with yourself within presence of God as well. Something that I do. I always ask God for guidance. I always express my gratitude, how grateful I am to be where I am in life, etc., etc. So those two things, internal practices and your spirituality work, mandatory when it comes to transmuting your chi. Now, when it gets to physical, it's important that you do some physical exercise, right? Your body, with this excessive amount of energy, your physical essence needs to be expressed, whether that's running, cycling, swimming, heavy lifting recommended, right? Or even calisthenics. You need to express yourself in a physical manner, and you need to exhaust yourself physically, right? Because you're not going to have healthy chi if your physical body is in shambles, right? It just goes to show that if one part of your holistic approach is not working, right? If you got good physical but that spiritual, that's missing balance. Or if you got good spiritual and that physical, or even like that mental, which a lot of people have, then that's missing balance. You want it to be a holistic approach, right? So physical exertion is mandatory because you're going to have high levels of testosterone. You will be transmitting the chi. And I tell you this, it doesn't matter how much sexual kung fu you do or how much internal work you do. Without the physical work, without training, you're still going to feel overwhelmed with this energy. Our friend who goes on retention, and after a week or two it just feels a little bit on edge, right? And it does make you do that, right? Because when you're in retention, all of a sudden all of this energy is piped up, it has no way to exit it, and you're not working with it, you're not transmuting it, so it's sitting in you, it's becoming stagnant, which is just as unhealthy as releasing the energy all the time. So very important you take your time to study this topic, to get familiar with it, to work with it on all levels, spiritual, mental, emotional, and I'm gonna get to mental as well. But make sure you take good care of your physical, whatever it is that you like doing. Even time in nature helps you to transmit your chi. Like quite often I go to the park, I get my journal, especially if it's summer season, you know, just bare feet, sit in the grass, relax, sun gaze, recharge. Love doing that. So that helps with chi transmutation as well. Now, when it comes to mental, make sure you're training yourself mentally. That is reading books, learning new things, whatever that is that challenges you in a mental capacity. Yeah, I always say this, reading is like the gym for your mental, or even like therapy. Therapy is like the gym for your mental as well, because sometimes you have an issue that you don't even know how to overcome. That's why I need the perspective of a professional that's got a different perspective of you, not one of your friend or your family member, right? It needs to be someone who's impartial. So I'm a big advocate of therapy. I've had therapy myself for a couple of years, loved it, grew from it, and strongly recommend it. Right, so yeah, so those are the 4 aspects how you can transmit your chi, right? Internal work, number 1. Number 2, spiritual. Number 3, physical. And number 4, mental. So those 4 aspects, and make sure you don't neglect them, that you give each and one of them just as much time, so it's all even, and there isn't missing balance. I've got a tendency sometimes to give my physical too much. Sometimes, you know, I go hard in the gym, it could be twice a day, you know, I'm having 2 sessions in a day, things like that. But I never overlook my internal work, and I never overlook my spiritual. So for me, my day starts with a prayer, it ends with a prayer as well. So that's how I start my day, and that's how and when I go to bed I say prayer as well. So that's mandatory, just automatically, without question. Morning routine, I do it most mornings. Some mornings I do skip it. Let's say if I got an early start, or I'm struggling to get out of bed, which in fact I have been recently. I don't know what happened since I've come back from my holiday. I'm just struggling to get out of bed. It's a real struggle. I actually asked God to help me to find strength to get out of my bed. It's been a problem, but I'm working towards it. I'm improving, and I'm aiming to finish this year on a high note. So I encourage you to do the same. All right, guys, thank you for checking out this video, making it to the end. You are a legend. Please subscribe to my channel. More content will be coming out soon. All right, thank you. Peace.